Back at it again with the white vans. I got, of course, my co-host up in here with me, David. Welcome to another episode after a long hiatus of the Knobheads.
Yeah, boy.
We're actually joined once again by the lovely Ham, aka Harrington, and we have somebody new who stopped by, D Money, in the house, aka Destiny, aka Destiny's Child, aka White Pants on My Period Child. Yeah, thought I forgot about the period pants, huh? Yeah, that's a little throwback. I'll go back with Destiny all the way to college. Yeah, so interesting thing. Me and David have been butting heads lately about one of the greatest shows to come out on streaming services lately. This
That's
year.
how you describe it.
This year, one of the greatest shows to come out this year
That's
is
how
The
you
Boys. In case y'all didn't know, it's a show about some superheroes.
Yeah.
We got multiple different problems and going through some things, and it's about some regular people trying to expose and kill them. So
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, if you haven't seen the show, you may want to skip past this part because we're gonna dive a little bit into it, just a little bit.
Nah, listen anyway. You don't want to see the show.
See, that's that
Spoilers.
hating. That's that hating shit.
Spoilers, you
They
can't.
go that hating shit.
Who cares?
What Riley say on Boondocks? See, there he go hating again, granddad.
Nah, I'm joking. It's an okay show. I just didn't really like it. It's not my taste, I guess. I'm more of a Game of Thrones kind of guy. I like.
First
depth.
of all, the ending of Game of Thrones was way more trashier than the ending of fucking The Boys.
The ending of Game of Thrones was trash because Game of Thrones was so good up until the ending.
No,
The
that
Boys
ending
was
just trash.
flat the whole way. Yeah, I mean, it
You
was.
can't compare the two though because Game
Nah,
of Thrones is such
I
a
would
build
not.
up, right?
Yeah, no,
It's been
I
so
wouldn't-
long.
they're
The
two
Boys is
different-
still new.
They're two different levels of
Yeah.
of shows.
Well, the Game of Thrones obviously is bigger, but I'm saying
It's another B word you're missing.
right there, spin
Much,
on it.
Much,
Real nice. I got it from Target. Half
much,
off.
and then you say
Right there.
better, cool.
No,
They're just two different levels. It's like Jessica Alba and then some chick that you just met.
First of all, I don't find Jessica Alba that hot. True.
Why do you like The Boys? Tell me why.
Because The Boys is a show. It's almost like a series version of Watchmen to me. Like
Yeah,
I said
it
before,
should have been. That's my opinion.
It's a series version, so it's going to take longer for them to dive deeper inside the layers of these characters.
They don't have layers in you, dog.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. From A-Train wanting to be relevant just in pure society and stuff and stay a superhero, all the way to Starlight dealing with what she thought was going to be a career of actually doing good in the world, but realizing that this whole The Seven thing is just for looks and company. Then down to fucking what's his name? The Deep, who is lost his purpose. He feel like he doesn't have no purpose. He's lost in life. And then not to mention the regular non-superhero characters. They are trying to deal with what's going on up in their lives too.
I enjoyed
You got
Butch.
Huey.
I actually like Butch.
Huey who dealing with his girlfriend.
Huey was an interesting character.
Who girlfriend just got killed by a superhero, but he's also liking this superhero, so it's a conflict there.
Yeah.
And then you got Butch, who he thought his wife was killed and murdered, which we find out in the end, which make the ending so bad that his wife left him for a superhero.
I don't mind the premise and the actual things that played out, like the story arc and how it, the storyline. I don't mind the storyline. It's how they did it, which was so flat. The characters that you just talked about, A-Train, he's just an it. Like he didn't. Homelander, A-Train, and the Deep. What do they do when they're not in their suits?
What do you mean? What do they do? Well, Homelander is obviously.
He's just a sadist.
We see more
He's
than
just someone who
but we see more than anybody.
enjoys hurting people.
Right, we see more than anybody that Homelander is
What?
like the Jesus Christ symbol of the group. And
Yeah,
behind closed
they're
doors, he's the
reluctant,
complete opposite. But to the rest of the world, he's the most good-hearted. He's the most this, that, and the
Yeah,
other.
he's marketed this way, yeah.
Exactly.
And he has that great
And
award-winning
stuff.
smile.
So I feel like that's a 24/7 job, like doing that. Then on top of that, when you was trying to make that argument about them never being in clothes, like you see A-Train without his clothes, you see the Deep without his clothes, you see Starlight multiple times without his clothes.
Starlight is one character that they did develop because she's like one of the main protagonists. The Deep didn't develop. When was he not in his clothes? When he's getting fucking fingered in his gills. You talking about that? When he's half naked.
I'm laughing at Destiny's face because she like, the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, she needs to see the show.
It's like a fish man who gets fingered in his gills.
Yes, he has gills. For people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, he has gills across his abs. He takes a girl back and she's a bit fucking weird. Which
she looked like a tickle. Didn't it look like it was tickling him when it was moving?
Yeah, a little bit.
It was like.
Yeah. But then
I don't know why I feel like gills sound like that.
They probably do.
I feel like girls.
Gills. I hope they do. That would make me fucking happy. But yeah, no. So he takes this girl back, and she's a bit of a weirdo. So she wants to finger him in the gills as she gets off.
Calling him a freak and shit. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, as she's fingering him in the gills and getting herself off.
Yeah.
But whatever.
2 minutes. Wrap up your opinion of The Boys.
Oh, why? I mean, it's a cool show, man. It's a cool show. It's got a massive budget, so it's nice to look at. But it's like a nice looking chick that doesn't have much depth. So the characters, I just wish, like you were talking about the Watchmen, I wish the characters, especially Homelander, just had like a more realistic side that we could relate to, because he was just a sadist, and he doesn't give a fuck about anyone, but apparently he gave a fuck about one person, Stillwell, and then he ends up, spoiler alert, like blasting her eyes open with his laser vision and not giving a fuck. Like that whole scene, he was not worried, and this is supposed to be the only one person that he gives a fuck about. So like just watching the last episode for me just showed me like there was no tension. Even though Stillwell dies, Homelander kills her, Butch is in massive danger, but then he explodes a bomb. He doesn't die from the explosion, and then he meets the chick Becca again. Like all of that those are massive things that happen, and there was no tension in it. For me, I was just watching it like nothing happened, and the characters as well, they felt no tension. Like they were still making their smug, stupid jokes and being arrogant, and no one was nervous. Like there was no build up to it, and I didn't like that they missed out on. They didn't tap into that. They didn't tap into that emotion that gets people at the edge of their fucking seats.
Harrington, I know you've seen the Boys, so what is your opinion? 2 minutes on the show.
I thought it was a good show. I do agree with what he said about when he does kill her, it did seem a little callous and didn't make sense. Like I was like, that doesn't make any sense by what we've seen this whole time. I thought that was weird. But besides that, I think it was a solid show. I do think that there was character development. Like, we know why kind of Homelander's like that because of the way he was raised or whatever in the lab, whatever they talk to that doctor. So that kind of makes sense why he doesn't have regular human emotions. Everybody else, the only person I feel like I didn't get a real story on was A-Train. Like, to me, he was the one where I'm like, okay, did not care all what happened with his storyline.
You cared about the Deep?
I felt bad for the Deep at one point. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did feel bad at him at some point.
2 minutes. It was a 2 minute summary.
But no, I think it was a very good, well-rounded show, and I would definitely watch if they made another season.
I personally think the show was wonderful. Of course, there's room for improvement, but it's still at the end of the day a great show. I disagree with David. I think that there was character development. And like the whole scene with Homelander and Stillwell was obvious that he didn't care about her because he was, like you said, a sadist. And what do sadists do when they feel like they've been brought up in a cold manner and whatnot, and the one person they trusted continuously lied to them even when they asked them not to? So that's why he felt like, you're gonna lie to me about this shit, you don't care about me, so I don't care about you, I'm gonna kill you type shit and whatnot. And then of course, like I said, the other character development from like only characters that didn't develop is because I think they saving them for later on. Like obviously Translucent died, so we didn't see his character development. The noir whatever,
oh my
like
God.
I believe that next season they'll show
I was like my favorite
about
character.
his character and whatnot and stuff. He didn't get a lot of screen time. Like I said, a lot of character development inside the non-superheroes as well. It was a great show. The ending, I disagree also. Like the ending, I was shooketh because I mean, hey, like this nigga knew. You have a guy like Butch who knew. He said to himself, "He's like, I know this isn't gonna kill you, Homelander, but I want to hurt you." And then that's when the audience and Butch found out the truth about Homelander and Becca and whatnot and stuff and all that and what all happened. And so he still decided, like, fuck it, I'm so broken, I'm still gonna blow this shit up. But that whole last scene where he was actually alive and he wakes up to Butch wakes up to his baby mom, who he thought was raped and murdered by the superhero he was trying to kill, living a carefree life with this same superhero's son raising him. So I thought, and the look of confusion on his face, because if you spend 6-7 years looking for somebody trying to get revenge and stuff, and then you just magically wake up from an explosion and you see them perfectly fine with the son, you're gonna be looking lost and confused too. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? Like, am I alive? Am I dreaming? Like, what's going on? So all in all, I think the show was great. Can't wait for the second season. That's my opinion on it. Next little thing.
Okay.
So David brought up an interesting point earlier.
I float in the party, these bitches on Charlie, the newest Hugh Hefner, Playboy like Cardi, no that ain't my lady, she ain't my baby, Shout out to Mari, my kids always